Hey violins, it's me, Miss Alexis, and I am so excited to make this new video for you. This is for the next section of symphony, so letter A to letter B. There is so much to work on, so thank you for your hard work this past week on the beginning up to letter A. If you have questions or if you need to review some stuff from that section, then there should be another video on our YouTube channel for you to focus on that. But today we're working on letter A until letter B. There's a lot to do here. There's a lot to work out. I kind of want to make sure that you have the correct bowings marked in your part right away so that it's a little bit easier for you to learn. So I want to show you what we're doing. So find, measure, so letter A is 24, right? So 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. Measure 28. I want you to mark some up bows on the quarter notes. So here's 28. So you have down, up, down, up, down, up. Okay, here, take a moment to look at that. You can pause the video. There you go. Okay, now the other spot to mark an up is measure 32 and measure 32, 33, 34, 35, and 36. So it's the next line. Do you see right there? Go ahead and pause the video so you can make your part look like mine. Up, and up right there. If it helps you to mark the down bows that come before, you could totally do that. Actually, I think I'm going to do that. So down, up, down, up, down, up, and then down, up, down, up. That's our favorite bowing for this song, I think. So now you can pause the video and check out, make sure that the whole thing looks like this. Okay? Cool. Okay, so now we have that. Let's work on it in like 4 measure chunks. That's kind of how this section is broken down. So, the very first 4 measures, I'm just going to play for you first and we'll break it down. Sounds like this. So there's a couple ways you can practice this before it gets too complicated. I would take out the slurs, first of all. When you're first learning something, make it as simple as possible. So take out the slurs and just go. So I'll go really, really slow through this and say the note names while we're playing. You can try to say the note names with me at the same time. So 1, 2, 3. E, F sharp, C sharp, D, E, use pinky there, B, C sharp, D, B, A, and here's a G sharp, that's a high 3, and then A again. Okay. So you might notice a small pattern is, each measure looks a little bit strange if you're looking at the pattern there. But if you look at like the third note of the measure and then the first and second note of the next measure, they kind of make a little bit of a scale. I'll show you. So here's A, right? So you have boom, boom, and then here, C sharp, D, E, so there's a little scale right there. And then B, C sharp, D, there's another little scale right there. And then here's a scale coming down, B, A, G sharp, and an A. So it really helps when you're learning new stuff to just try to find patterns and try to make it make sense in your brain, whatever that means to you. Now I'm going to try to add the slurs. Remember, if you need to go back in the video at all and pause things or or re-watch things, you're always welcome to do that. You're encouraged to do that. Okay, here it is with the slurs. I'm going to try it at 50 beats per minute. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, I hope you made it. Go ahead and go back in the video if you want to play along with me again. I'm going to move on to the next section. The next 4 measures, so this is 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. The measures where we marked all those bowings sounds like this. So it's kind of like a fancy version of what we just played, right? Before it was... just makes it a little bit fancier. Okay, so let's break it down. How about we just go measure by measure this time, and we're gonna go super slow so we can try to get the bowings right away. So you slur the first 2 notes, and then up, up, so half your bow, and let's do that again. Okay, now here comes the next measure. Let's do that one again. D, F sharp. And the next one, try to use pinky for E. And then you've already played this measure. Okay, so I think what I'll do is I'll go through it once more and I'll leave space for you to repeat after me. So I'll play da 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 da, and then you can try playing the measure. And then I'll play the next measure, and then you can try playing the next measure, okay? So here we go. 1, 2, 3. This is hard. I think this is one of the hardest parts in the song. So thank you for putting in the time. Okay, if you want to go back and work on that section, that's kind of all we're going to do with that. If you want to write down any questions you have, please do, and we'll talk about it in your lesson. And if you don't get everything out the gate, that's okay. You can totally save the bowings for later. You can save the rhythm for later. What I care the most about is that you're reading your notes and thinking about them as letters and not solfege. Because we're moving on. We're moving past solfege. We are ascending, okay? So we're not thinking solfege anymore. We're thinking letters. We're thinking about sharps and naturals and high twos and low twos and high threes. Just keep it in mind while you're going through this, okay? The next section is 32. Good news is it's the same thing twice. It's 4 measures and then the same 4 measures. So, and we already marked our bowing at the very beginning of 32. We have down, up, up. And I'm just going to play it for you so you can hear it. Recommend use your 4th finger instead of open E. Open E sounds a little bit too like squawky for this. Right, we don't love that. We can do better than that, so we will. So use 4th finger, and you might be wondering why you have like an eighth note and then a little baby rest, and then an eighth note and then a baby rest, and then an eighth note and a baby rest in that measure. Because it sounds kind of like quarter notes, right? If I were to just play quarter notes, they would sound like this. Right? But what I want, and what the composer wants, is a little bit of space in between every note. So just play them very short and light sounding. So instead of this, he wants. Can you hear the difference? So let's try it super slow. Just the 4 measures. I'm going to put the metronome on. Okay, so each one of these notes, even though they look like they're really small and they would fit inside a beat, each one gets a click, which is nice. So it goes nice and slow. 1, 2, 3. Pinky. Okay, and did you catch that G sharp? The high 3 in measure 34? Reach really high for that. G sharp. It's fancy. Okay, here we go. One more time. I'm going to do it all the way 32 for the whole line. So it's twice in a row. So 1, 2, 3. Great. You feel good about that? I hope so. I think that the first line is significantly more challenging. Again, if you have questions, let me know. Let's move on to measure 40. And this part is pretty simple. Practice looking ahead here. So while you're playing one note, you're looking at the note that comes next. It's really important. I'm just going to play for you the next 4 measures. 2, 3. It's pretty nice. It's kind of relaxing, really smooth. Let's do it one more time. Try playing along with me, okay? We start on an F sharp. So 1, 2, 3. You do okay? I bet you did. Let's try the next 4 measures. And I think that there's a bowing that I want to change here too. Let me look. Yeah, I meant to do this at the beginning of the video, but here's what I'm changing. Oh, I did it wrong. I'm going to change measure 47. Okay. Okay, this looks terrible, don't judge me, but here's measure 47. I wanted to take out the slur, and I just want to slur the last 2 measures. So basically, I want this measure to look like these measures. So we have a down bow for our quarter note and a slur for the second 2 notes, okay? I'm so embarrassed that this is what that looks like, but whatever, it's fine. Okay. Let's try it. Down, up, down, up. Should be pretty straightforward. Here we go. From measure 41, 42, 43, 44, 45. Ready? Go. do it one more time. Ready? 1, 2, 3. So something that I was focused on just now was playing a full bow for my down bow and then saving my bow on the up bow slur, because you have to fit twice as much music into your up bow as you were doing on your down bow. So practice that with me. We're going to go down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Does that make sense? I'll show you on my violin now. So lots of bow on the first note. So there's always room for the next two notes at the end. If you get trapped, if you don't use enough bow here, you get stuck, right? And I'm like, I don't have enough room to actually sound beautiful. So we use lots of bow. Does that make sense? Hope so. Okay, so how about I play you the whole line, measure 40. I'll play it with a metronome, you can hear it. I think this is the prettiest line of the song. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. I bet you're looking ahead at letter B and thinking, what? Oh my God, it looks crazy. But it's not that crazy. We'll talk about it next week. You're going to be fine. Okay, now it's time for the play-alongs, okay? So I'm going to go all the way from letter A to letter B at our 3 tempos. Our first tempo is super slow, and try to play along. And if you have to like jump in and jump out, that's okay. That's actually really good practice of like playing in an orchestra, because the orchestra is not going to stop if you make a little mistake, right? So you have to practice, like, if you kind of fall off for a second, you have to practice, like, kind of jumping back on the train, because it's not going to stop for you. Sorry. Okay, so give it a shot. Here's 50 beats per minute, letter A to letter B. 1, 2, 3. Now, moving along, we'll pick up the tempo, but I want to make sure you know that the spot that I think I want you to spend the most time on is the very first line of A. I think it is a very special first violin moment, and we want it to be very delicate and very sweet and very like very like proper sounding. So spend a lot of time on that line, and then moving along, the next two lines, they fill out a little bit more in the orchestra. Like the violas and the cellos have your back a little bit more. So just make letter A your priority, the very first line of letter A. Make that like most important thing for this week, okay? Okay, here comes 80 beats per minute. That's our medium tempo. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Okay? Okay, now here is our tempo of 100. This is what we hope to sound like in the concert. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Good for you. Thank you so much for working so hard on this piece. Remember that it's okay if you are not like in a spot to be playing all of this perfectly yet. This is a video meant for you to kind of return to while you're working, and I think it will be a really cool way to track your progress, because you're going to notice things that are maybe difficult right now, they won't be difficult in a couple of weeks, and you're going to be able to see like, oh, I remember when this was hard for me and now I've got it. So I completely believe in you, and if you put in this work right now, we're going to grow as musicians all together and grow as an orchestra, and that's super important. And yeah, I'm just so proud of you. So thank you for putting in the time. Again, if you have questions, write them down in your music and save them for your lessons, or ask Mr. Will, or put them in the comments of this video, and we'll talk about it next time, okay? Thank you so much. We'll talk soon. Take care.